Christian missionaries have made inroads into this area and settled. They include the CMS, Catholic Missions, the Seventh-day Adventists, the African Inland Mission, the Friends Mission, and the Church of God Mission. Most of the mission churches had a large following, response to their teachings being positive. Thus, it came as a surprise that the expansion of indigenous churches took place in an area where missions were so well received. Setting the precedent for secession from the Christian religion, a politico-religious cult-like movement was introduced, which came to be known as Mumboism.
The story goes that one evening, as Onyango Dunde was seated in front of his hut, a gigantic snake appeared and swallowed him up. Almost immediately as it had swallowed Onyango Dunde, it spat him out unscathed but rather shaken. The snake, it is said, was so big that as it floated on the surface of the Lake Victoria, its head reached high up to the clouds. Then the snake spoke more or less as follows to Onyango Dunde. I am the god Mumbo, whose two homes are in the sun and in the lake. I have chosen you to be my mouthpiece. Go and tell all the Africans that from henceforth I am their god. Those whom I choose personally, and those who acknowledge me, will live forever in plenty. The Christian religion is rotten. All Europeans are your enemies. But the time is shortly coming when they will all disappear from the country. The snake then crawls away from Onyango Dunde.
Onyango Dunde soon set about spreading the gospel of Mumbo. Besides condemning European culture, Christianity, and the influence of colonialism, his teachings and programs being so attractive, it was not long before he had a considerable following. The followers came to be known as Mumboites. At sunrise and sunset, all Mumboites would stand facing the sun with their first finger and thumb of each hand, meeting to form a circle and held up to the eyes like binoculars. Having intensely gazed at the sun until they're completely dazzled, they would then stretch out their arms and break into rapid and often unintelligible prayer. The colonial administration was threatened by the anti-European message of Mumboism. Chiefs and, to a lesser extent, missionaries directed state power to its repression, eliminating it before it could undermine the very basis of European power. In 1921, the colonial government exiled Onyango Dunde and other Mumbo leaders to the holy Islamic island of Lamu in the Indian Ocean. Despite being exiled, the gospel of Mumbo continued spreading mainly among the Luo and Gusai communities. Its networks threatened chiefs and headmen in fundamental ways, deliberately hindering them in carrying out their duties by insults and threats, and claiming greater powers from Mumbo. Onyango Dunde and those exiled were repatriated in 1923, sparking a small outbreak of Mumboism, which was quickly suppressed. Mumboism quietly exited the archival records aside from various colonial administrative reports being brought up occasionally. A Christian separatist sect emerged at the height of administrative paranoia during Mau Mau, leading to a belated order outlawing Mumbo. This was a meaningless gesture, for Mumboism had been dead for 2 decades. In the early 1990s, the last remaining Mumbo adept, Mzi Angwenyi, died, still living in Kisi town, where a district commissioner had long ago ordered him to move, and still stubbornly awaiting the advent of Mumbo. History will recognize Mumboism, or the cult of Mumbo, as an important protest response to colonial rule among the Gusi and Luo from the period just prior to World War I through the 1930s.